Brandon is with us. Brandon is in Cool Springs, or Colorado Springs. I'm sorry, Colorado. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Ramsey. Dr. John, thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Yeah, just calling to see if I can kind of do a little bit of a Susie Orman thing with you. I have
probably
me and
better
my
do a
wife
Dave
are
Ramsey
looking to-
thing with
Yeah,
me. Susie's
I
not here.
wouldn't do that.
But
Yeah, sort of does it fit into the Ramsey plan here? We're looking to purchase a home in the mountains. It's going to be a vacation home, kind of near one of my ski resorts I love going to.
cool. You got the money?
So we're looking. I'm so sorry.
You have the cash?
To purchase it cash?
Yes.
No, but we do have a down payment.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. A second home is a toy, and you pay cash for toys if you want to be wealthy. I've got a lake house I'm heading to this afternoon when I get off the air, and I paid cash for it a long, long time ago, and then I rebuilt another one on the same property and paid cash for that, and I absolutely love it. I would have, 23 years later, hated the stinking thing. However, if I had been paying payments on it as much as it sits empty. And it's just, you're just not ready to buy a second home. You don't need to be doing vacation homes when you don't have the money to pay for them.
What do you tell somebody, Dave, that has this imaginary spreadsheet with all of the Airbnb guests they're going to have to float it all, and it becomes this funny math, right? We talked about this earlier.
Here's the thing. Using debt to do stuff like this only works when it works, and nothing ever works in life the way you think it's going to.
Never.
Never. The best laid plans of mice and men. You just know. You can project this yellow brick road experience, and then you'll run into the Wicked Witch
Every time.
and the flying monkeys, and
You
those
looked at me when
little
you said that.
Oompa Loompa guys look like poodles with the curved swords.
Yep.
Ooh, wow,
Yep.
remember them? Yeah, you're going to run into all these things along the way. The yellow brick road is fraught with danger,
That's right.
including stupid strawmen that have no brain. They're out there everywhere. And, this is what you run into. So this stuff only works if it works, and nothing ever goes exactly as planned. And the beautiful thing is when you own a bunch of rental property and you don't have any payments and there's a pandemic or something and some of your tenants can't pay because they lost their jobs, it's not their fault, you can grant mercy. But when you have payments, you're the one needing mercy.
That's right.
And but those tenants will pay off that rental property for you. You heard that crap? See, that's that yellow brick road thing. You left out the flying monkey.
Yep.
You left out the pandemic. You left out the big bad wolf. I'm going to mix up a bunch of different stories here together in this metaphor, but but you see what I'm saying? And that's the problem is
It happens every time, too.
it does
Every time.
Life is predictable. Life is happening. It's going to happen.
I'd never thought of a vacation home. I love the way you said it's a toy.
Yeah.
It's a toy. It's fun, especially
If you
when
want to buy a four-wheeler, a motorcycle, a boat, it's a toy.
Yep.
But if you got to put payments on it, that just means you're too broke to have it.
That's right.
And because this, I added up when I was broke because I'm a water skier. I love the lake. I love the mountains too, like he does. I'd love to have. I don't have a ski house, but I wouldn't mind having one. They're wonderful. And but I added up one time when I had payments on a boat when I first started doing this stuff about 30 years ago. It's longer than that ago. But I added up with the payments I was making on the boat, the insurance on the boat, what it cost me per minute to ski. I averaged out that I was going to ski this many times a year, and I would ski 10 minutes this run. I'd ski 5 minutes that run. I'd ski 15 minutes that run. And I added it up, and a buddy of mine started telling me about how he needed a better bass boat. And so I added up per pound what the bass was costing him, and it was something like $14,000 a pound, or something. I mean, it was like.
Okay, so hey, that's a good question then. How do you decide? So if this guy's going to try to buy a ski house that he likes, and he goes and visits it 7 times a year, which would be a lot of ski trips.
You cannot financially justify it.
So it only time it's justified is when you've got the cash in hand.
It's not financially justified.
And it's not about investment. It's about
it's not harming my life.
There you go.
Because it does not make sense.
It's a lifestyle choice.
Okay. You've been to my lake house. Okay. So if you say
I mean, that one makes sense. That's a pretty
Well,
cool house.
it's a beautiful home.
It's a cool house.
And it's a great investment. It's gone up in value. That's fine. But, you know, the number of hours we spend there, the number of weekends we spend there, the amount of time we spend on the water, you know, could we not rent an Airbnb on the lake and come out millions of dollars ahead? Absolutely we could. But we've got the money, and it doesn't hurt our financial situation because we're not paying payments on it.
Gotcha.
And so, but when you know, you've got to look at it because it truly is a toy. You know, you cannot justify.
I love that idea.
You can't financially justify these things at all. None of them. They don't make sense. And so, you know, with what you spend on a vacation home, how many times you know, you can rent just outside Colorado Springs, I've done it, you can rent the 15,000 square foot mansion on the side of a mountain, ski in, ski out for $30,000 a week. $30,000 a week.
Right.
Okay. And if you go 4 weeks a year, okay, that's $120,000, right?
That's right.
And so, how long does it take you to get to $5 million?
That's a lot of weeks.
You know, you cannot financially justify it.
Right.
You can't financially justify it. But if you've got $100 million and you want to drop $5 million in that thing, it's a toy, and you can afford it, then it doesn't matter that it doesn't financially work. It's a place that's yours, it's your family's, it's memory. You know, the difference between a $5,000 car and a $25,000 car, you can't justify it financially. But if you can afford it, it's okay to take that bit of a luxury.
There you go. I like it.
You know, it's the same kind of a thing because both of them will get you from point A to point B. So shut up, stop your whining.
Right.
And both of them probably got air conditioning. So shut up and stop your whining. And both of them are somewhat reliable. So shut up and stop your whining. So the difference in a $5,000 car and a $25,000 car is a want.
Right.
And it's okay. I'm not against wants on this show, but you got to pay cash for them. Because the upgrades are luxury.
There you go.
It's living like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. So put yourself in that position is what I would do.
I love that, Dave. I love it. I love it.
That's the direction to go. And I want you to get a vacation house. I'm not saying I'm doing something and telling you shouldn't. But I didn't. The first property, again, you've been down there. We had our personalities retreat down there. But the first one I bought was $103,000. It was one tiny little lot off to the right-hand side of that property, and it was this little bitty brick house from 1974 on it, and it had a boat dock. All I cared about was a boat dock and a place to sleep. That's all I cared about, and a place to put the boat and, you know, have fun and ski the kids and tube the kids and all that stuff. And the kids were tiny, and, you know, now all these years later, we bought several properties adjacent, did some tear-downs, some rebuilds, built a nice big home on there now. And you know, all the grandkids, it's all 7 of them, and there'll be 14, 15 people, the Ramsey clan down there this weekend, you know, for Labor Day weekend, right? So, but we worked up to that over 25 years, and we paid cash for it, and at no point was it a big percentage of our world, including today.
So it was never a burden.
Yeah.
It was only fun, right?
Yeah, and because it just takes the fun out of it.
And
also it gets you in the land of stupid real quick.
Oh, yeah. And then it gets to the land of justification, and then all of a sudden, one glitch and one flying monkey, and the whole thing comes down.
Yeah, if you got the down payment only, hon, just go rent it.
Yeah,
just go rent it 3 times a year, and until you've got the money. And when you got the money, buy it. This is the Ramsey Show.